On Tuesday, August 22nd, 2023, we're open the administrative board meeting. Do roll call, please.
Chris Samples.
Here.
John Talbot. Jen Christensen is absent. Bill Motisi is absent. Nathan Maz.
Here.
Patrick Yarlow.
Here.
President Rick Ware.
Here.
Treasurer Brenda Onavini.
Here.
Clerk Sandy Mazem here. Public Works Supervisor Brett Berge.
Here.
Engineer Matt Hanson.
Here.
All right. Reminder, Jen's not here, so somebody's gonna do the motions.
Yeah, I got it here.
All right.
I got it too. I was ready.
All right.
So tonight on the consent agenda, we have 5 items. Item 1 being July 25th, 2023 administrative board minutes. Item 2, bills payable warrant list dated August 22nd, 2023 for a total of $54,140.23. Item 3, outside meeting pay for elected officials, total $100. Item 4, ordinance number 23-15, tax levy ordinance, and item 5, ordinance number 23-16, an ordinance amending chapter 2 administration article 6, purchasing division 3, emergency purchases to increase emergency purchase amount to $25,000. At this time, do any of the board members wish to remove any of those 5 items for further consideration?
Yes.
Which item would you like to remove?
Number 3, outside meeting pay for elected officials totaling $100, please.
All right, so we will make any further items be removed.
That is it.
And the motion will be made for items 1, 2, 4, and 5.
I move to place agenda items 1, 2, 4, and 5 inclusively as consent agenda items. Further, I move that all items be considered together as a consent agenda.
Nathan makes a motion to place items 1, 2, 4, and 5 inclusively as a consent agenda. John seconds that motion. Roll call, please.
Jen is absent. Bill is absent. John.
Yes.
Nathan.
Yes.
Chris.
Yes.
Patrick.
Yes.
Motion passes 703.
At this time, I'd like to make a motion, right?
Yep.
Or outside meeting, or I gotta do the other, sorry, I move to adopt in consent items agendas 1, 2, 4, and 5, inclusively on the consent agenda in a single group pursuant to the omnibus vote procedure specified in the Illinois Municipal Code.
Sorry. Nathan makes a motion to adopt items 1, 2, 4, and 5 inclusively as a consent agenda. John seconds that motion. Roll call, please.
Bill is absent. John.
Yes.
Nathan.
Yes.
Chris.
Yes.
Patrick.
Yes.
And Jen's absent.
Motion passes 704. Now you can do the other motion.
I make a motion to approve outside meeting pay for elected officials totaling $100.
Sorry.
Nathan makes a motion to approve the outside meeting pay for elected officials totaling $100. Chris seconds. Is there any discussion?
Yeah, I'm not sure what exactly this is for. It was an open meeting that was not just in passing, I believe. So I don't know how
the
this
economic development
applies. Yeah, I don't know how this applies to an outside meeting. Exactly.
He did exactly what we told him to do.
Yeah.
Is it, I don't know.
Did we tell him to go do that? I don't
We
remember.
told him to.
No.
He just had the authority.
It's not this.
Did you read it?
I was gonna say he met with us, senator.
With the
No.
senator at the.
That was not the
Oh.
economic development.
No, it's not, the thing when the senator came to town to meet with the community, not with elected officials.
Met with State Senator Andrew Chesney.
It looks like he preliminary set up some stuff, but it doesn't look like he had a meeting. It's the groundwork for a meeting. It's just not a
in
meeting.
Boone County.
And unfortunately, he's not here to defend himself tonight, so.
But, I went to the meeting, well, they did invite elected officials, actually, they invited us, so.
Well, everybody was invited, the community as a whole, right? So.
No, I mean, I met with, who's the guy that I gotta get information from, sorry.
Peterson.
Hold on, I got it right here. I met with
Cheney.
the House of Representatives, the Darren LaHood on that one, and I put it in outside meeting for it. I didn't see, it's for our best interest. Actually, I got him on our mailing list. I got on his mailing list and talked to the guy so that I could have them send us, any federal grant information that comes to us. I don't know, you think this isn't?
I don't know.
think you met with him?
I mean, he met with him.
I don't see an issue with this.
That's why I'm discussing this. I don't understand the whole logistics of the situation. Unfortunately, Bill's not here
We did
to
tell him
explain.
that he should, that we didn't have the authority to force Rolling Meadows to do anything with their water and that.
Neither does the senator, so.
Well, you know, the state does, and the senators make laws, so if you could get their attention, then maybe you have a possibility of doing something. Personally, I think it's an outside chance, you know, they already have a bunch of laws, it's whether or not you can get somebody to enforce them.
I have not corresponded with them at all,
With who?
with Senator Chesney's office.
Okay,
He
Are
calls
we-
me all the time, but I
Are we saying he did not meet?
don't put him in.
I don't, I guess the definition of the meeting is kind of in question here a little.
Well, he said that he spoke to the assistant as well, so.
I believe.
yeah, they do that,
I believe that's pretty
So-
good to know that most people can hear.
So if we make a phone call that lasts 5 minutes, that's a meeting? If we meet someone and we have a 5-second conversation, that's a meeting?
so the date.
I guess I'm confused.
In the past, the 5-minute meeting counted as an outside.
I don't struggle with the media talking to the state representative about the issue at hand.
Yeah, right.
Why not here though? Why'd you know?
Well, that's where he was.
We put in mileage.
Oh,
We turn in mileage.
well, I mean, who knows what his schedule is and his availability? So if that was
I don't
what
know,
was
it's-
convenient at the time,
Same day?
Yeah, he put it in.
but I guess if he's putting mileage in, it's not really.
But to answer your question, Nate, we've had minutes that go 5 minutes for that outside meeting. We've had school board meetings that went 3 hours. There's been for most of us, there's been a balance through the years.
I just,
But
no.
And not, I will tell you that I did speak with Jen Christensen, and she did tell me that she also found this outside meeting problematic. I did not ask her for more information. At that point is when I told her to reach out to another trustee to have the discussion, since she would not be here.
Well, I don't have an issue with it.
I mean, if he literally drove to Genoa just to do that, I mean, that in of itself, that's why I say if we're not questioning he really did do that, I wouldn't have a problem with it.
You know, I met, I had a phone meeting with.
A phone call, no, that wouldn't be worth.
Wait.
Well, you couldn't turn in mileage
Okay.
for a phone.
I considered putting an outside meeting for it because I had to schedule an exact time to be on the phone with 3 people and talk to them for a half hour about Verizon.
That's an outside meeting.
Yeah.
But you
But
scheduled
it's-
something.
John's just saying that it's not.
No,
This
if
was
Bill
scheduled
spent
too.
5 minutes on the phone, I wouldn't
Oh.
consider, if you're scheduled. And the premise of the outside meeting was too, is if, like today, I came to the bid opening. If you're taking away from work, that's why I think part of the
Right.
reason that was
No.
created is because you are taking away
I
from.
know. Patrick, you have a problem with this?
I really don't know. I mean,
Well.
Again, I don't have a problem with the meeting itself. I have a problem with why'd you know I'm not here? I mean, I can understand time constraints, maybe you had to do something.
I
but
guess, yeah.
He's not here to defend himself on that item, so.
I don't know, I just, part of me just thinks that a meeting is something that's prearranged, and I guess this is prearranged because he was gonna be there and he decided to go on that date, so I guess that qualifies enough.
Use
I don't
of
want to get in
meetings
trouble for
is-
semantics, I just, I don't know.
the use of the meetings is pretty, if you look at the ordinance, it's pretty open, so.
I
Hold
don't,
on.
do we have parameters on this already? I don't, I guess that's.
The ordinance.
I think they-
Have Sandy read you the ordinance.
Just to-
I actually have it.
It's pretty. At least you go to the economics.
It's a carrot, I guess.
I don't think so. I just prefer to do away with it, period.
It's an extra 26 a week is all it would be. It's not a pay raise.
No, I understand.
But this is the entice us to go out and actually do meetings.
I mean,
and do.
We put in what, 12 outside meetings, and I guarantee you I've never had less than, I mean, I haven't put in for 12 in a year, but I've had more than that, most years.
Every
Civ-
year.
civ- more. That's why I just
Almost
don't
double
even
put
push
in
them
for
to do it.
There's years I go both ways.
I don't know.
So, yes, no,
Doesn't make me any better than anybody else, just,
should, well, I guess we should vote then.
Yeah,
yeah,
I just
Is
need
there any-
clarification, that was all.
I mean, everybody says so. It is a motion second, so plus it's money roll call.
John,
Yes.
Nathan,
Yes.
Chris,
Yes.
Patrick,
yes.
Jen, and Bill are absent.
That motion passes 7-10. And that was item D. So we'll move to the report of the officers under me. United States Solar.
Yeah. Hold on a second.
What we should do is do away with the mileage. That would should show how eager people were.
You're good. Hi, everyone. Can you hear me? Okay.
Mhm.
Yep. Okay, great.
Thank you so much for taking the time. I know you guys were gonna have your board meeting anyway, but thank you for your time and your consideration. I'm Taylor Canny. I'm with US Solar. Ryan unfortunately was not able to be here. He was here the previous year when you received the approval for this special use permit. So the reason for us being here today, USS Junction Solar is requesting an extension to the special use permit as it was granted on September 27th of 2022 and is only valid for 1 year. The reason why we need an extension, community solar projects are very complicated and involve numerous tasks to come together to complete a successful project. All of these items take a lot of time, money, and effort. Our interconnection agreement with ComEd has progressed very well. ComEd has finished all 3 studies and a detailed design and cost estimate has been presented to USS Junction Solar. USS Junction Solar can now review the studies, the cost estimates, and has discussed it with ComEd. This has been processing for about 11 months now, and we anticipate executing and funding this agreement before the end of this year. ComEd estimates that once the agreement is executed, it will take an additional 10 to 12 months to perform all design and construction needed on its infrastructure, which may seem like a long time, but it is actually a pretty quick interconnection for a project of this size. Major issues with supply chain has also come into factor. It's not just taking longer to receive materials needed for ComEd to interconnect, but for USS Junction Solar to procure transformers, inverters, solar panels, etc. US Solar is currently buying transformers 55 weeks in advance before installation, whereas just 3 years ago, it was only taking about 20 to 25 weeks for transformers to be delivered. Financing a project that will ultimately cost northwards of $10 million to develop and construct does take some time. So members of the board, as you can see, USS Junction Solar has been spending time, money, and effort to make this project possible. USS Junction Solar has cleared many hurdles since this project was permitted in September of 2022. The project is expected to receive an award from the state of Illinois' Renewable Energy Program, which besides the agreement with ComEd is one of the hardest hurdles to get over. USS Junction Solar is anticipating a groundbreaking of this project in late 2024 to early 2025. Because of this estimated timeline, we would like to ask Davis Junction for a 2-year extension for our special use permit. Our least and typical solar projects of this size have a due diligence period of approximately 3 years. We hope that you feel that request for a 2-year extension is warranted and can be approved. If granted, the special use permit would expire on September 27th, 2025. By then, but hopefully much sooner, USS Junction Solar would be under construction or completed. Thank you.
So I'm just gonna address the length of time first. I would need to speak with our legal counsel, as I believe I just had the conversation with them that we can only issue special use permits by our ordinances for 1 year at a time, with up to a 6-year, 90-day extension, and that's all that we're allowed. So that would be a cap on that. So while requesting 2 years, I don't think legally that we are allowed to offer that as an option.
Understandable.
And then the conversation that everybody's aware, Ryan has reached out to me many a times over the last couple of month and a half or so. But the problem is we've never had anybody request an extension on a special use permit. Usually the work occurs before the permit expires. And so we're not quite sure how to move forward. And as I said, our ordinance has an extension limit of 60 to 90 days. And so we don't want to necessarily treat it like an extension because you're asking for way longer than that. So then we need to start the whole process over again. And so that's kind of the legality behind it that I'm still working on Mark with. And it still would not be 2 years. And so that's the discussion we're having behind the scenes, but I did ask them to come here today to talk to you guys about the, about anything that you know now that you didn't know a year ago. So, I feel like this board has come a long way in that 1 year in terms of solar. We've received a lot more presentations and I had a lot more information for them to draw from.
We're also, the plans as designed, we've come to the realization that we would need a little bit larger, I believe the wording is an easement for a water line project that would eventually be coming through there. So what we would need you to do is the kind of the green space that you have from the solar panels to the highway would need to be, everything would need to be shifted down, kind of where the solar panels are, I think, right?
Yeah, we need
Roughly.
like right here, roughly.
So we need to be able to run a line in there at some point to be able to do that. So we would need your project to be kind of shifted if possible down a slight bit for our needs later in the future. I don't know that that's something, I don't know if that's something that's possible for you guys to do, or if that's even an option at this point.
I'm
of-
sure that I can bring that to Ryan's attention and I'll bring it to our engineers as
I'm
well.
confused, what do you mean down?
So this is our proposed wastewater?
Yes.
Proposed
It's a sewer, it's a sewer line that'll run from the existing one that runs up to 72 there. It's designed to go over and pick up, eventually we can get rid of the Pacific Avenue lift station.
It eliminates the pumps on the lift station.
Yeah.
So
Everything
Matt
would just
brought
float
this
by
to our
gravity.
attention though, after we had approved it, that this is the planning area for that, which means that we would need
So any type of approval from us would require
this.
this approval to be, to
Yeah.
go forward, because otherwise it would really damper our potential.
And that alignment there kind of follows, been years ago, but I think it was Panning Place. When they did a preliminary layout for that subdivision that never went. That alignment there, you know, it's kind of just schematical, but it's gonna go down what would be a future street.
I'm sorry. I still don't quite understand. Maybe you do, I don't. And it's more important that you do than I do. You're the guys that are gonna have to shift. Can you leave that one up there so I can say, so are you saying it needs to go this way? Or
No,
it needs to go this way?
Opposite,
comes
yep,
south.
down.
Is there room there?
This is on open farm field below south of there, yes.
Oh,
I mean,
alright.
So what,
Yeah.
what was gonna be on the north part where the?
That's that green space where they put like flowers and some other
It's
stuff,
just their setback area.
step back area or something. of
Why,
that
why
nature.
do we need to?
So
move-
this is the.
So
you just need to move the setback.
We need the setback more because,
Not the.
not,
Not the.
Oh, I see.
In
Like,
order
alright,
for them to
there's-
keep the setback area in the same distance, the whole project has to shift. some.
correct. So,
Otherwise, they're reducing the amount of setback.
so we're not asking for anything to be smaller or different other than just.
Totally understandable, and I will just have to bring that to Ryan's attention, only because the property line does end right at, the bottom
Okay.
where those panels are.
Correct.
I-
No, I'm sorry.
No, I'm sorry, I was.
Go ahead and talk. No, I was babbling.
No, it's okay, I can definitely bring that to our
You babble.
third party, that does a lot of these designs for us, and I'll bring that to Ryan's attention. I know it's possible that we have done it in the past. I'm not super familiar with this specific project, but I will bring it to his attention.
And the other thing, originally when we were going through this, you guys were kind of new to us, in the process of going through all this. In recent, negotiations with other companies, it has been brought to our attention that the considerations have been made for the village itself. And by considerations, we get really little to no tax money from this. I mean, we're just barely a step above, the Julia High Library. Other companies have come in, have made considerations to the village and amounts that would make the risk reward benefit a lot better. And it was something that was kind of brought up, but really shot down, and we were all very eager on this before. And so now I would really, me personally, to it would be, how do I put this? The consideration, if there was a way that you could make a improvement, how's that word, improvement donation, subsidy, is
Some
that?
sort of Consideration.
Consideration.
Incentive.
Or incentive for going through and making this, you know, I mean, if it's even possible to go 2 years.
Yeah, and I think in summary, what we've been doing with some of the other solar company negotiations is you're taking away green space, so we're asking for a contribution to other green space within the village.
Do you have an example that I?
So like a donation of a bike path or a.
You have a park
tourism
project going on,
project
like it's
or
very,
something. You're taking away green space, add green space.
Okay.
we have quite a few green spaces and green improvements that we're working on. I mean, you know, projects ranging on all dollar amounts, you know, I mean, you can go as large as you want to and as small as you feel necessary, but I mean, obviously the bigger the improvement, the faster things get done in a way. Because, I mean, obviously, we want this to happen as quickly as you guys do, and I don't want to stop the improvements or the benefit to the district or everything else that's available to us. It's just that the Village of Davis Junction doesn't have a risk reward value to this. And now that we've been presented with risk rewards from other opportunities, we would like you guys to do this.
Okay, I will definitely bring that to Ryan and our company. I am assuming that shouldn't be an issue. Very.
I was giving you guys to run into this.
Yeah, yeah.
renewable energy
Yeah.
company
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
very important to do good for the environment. So I
Yep.
will definitely
On the
bring
question of moving that stuff south. Doesn't the Junction Way lift station, when we move that, the line that goes under there, run under the cornfield, which is now going to be. Development?
No,
Junction Way?
no, so the Route 72 project, you thought got rid of the Pacific Avenue lift station?
No, we used to think it was gonna go in behind it. Where's the Junction Way? We got rid of the lift stations there, where's it go?
That goes into that sewer line that goes underneath the railroad tracks and then
Yeah.
it catches the main trunk line east to the
Goes
treatment
directly
plant.
south.
It's directly south,
Through the
yes.
cornfield.
Just on the
Yeah.
west side
Okay,
of
so
the grain
We
bins.
can go under a cornfield with access. Why can't we go through their green space that their setback area with a line?
Because we're asking, it's more of a legality issue than it is a logistical issue. Because then we have the legality of being under space that we have already given a special use permit to somebody else to use for something else. So it's more of a legality issue than it is a logistical issue. So you're right, there's no, logistically, there is no reason we could not put a sewer line underneath there, but then we are. I mean, and then the other option is to add legal language into the next special use permit that says that that's fine, that we're gonna let you have this as setback, but then we also need to know that the village still has the right to come in and use. And so it's a legality issue, not.
Alright, so I mean, why move the project if we put the legal language and just say, we're gonna run like.
Well,
But
whatever,
who's paying to put that?
whatever the convenience is for you guys, to make your project continue to function, for us to have that space available to us. So-
And I'm sure that we can come to.
Sure.
Plans right where they were.
It's not an issue.
It's also not an issue to put a few feet south, because he actually does own the entire acreage below it too.
Alright. Okay, we got ideas.
Gusser's is the guy down in the corner.
And I don't know.
He
if
can't
the
remember.
next parcel, which is, my mistake for not.
Yeah.
doing that, But if he does, if the
He
landowner does.
He owns it.
then-
Gus does own south of
Yeah.
there.
But I should bring this to our-
'Cause I didn't-
Oh, no, he owns the tracks almost all the way down to across the mobile crossing.
I wasn't sure, but I thought.
Yeah, he owns.
I think-
most of the land.
I think we dealt with him on the drainage ditch.
He's a good guy and he loves it
Yeah, we
there.
did. I remember that now. We did.
Are those all of the issues?
Yes.
Okay, anything further?
Yeah.
I think I gave you a lot to go back
Oh,
with now.
no, that's, we got to go over the crest of the hill and back down. This is taking really the low side.
Second generator's taking up, we did that something pretty fast.
All right, and then just, if you have questions or anything on any of that, just have Brian reach out to me, and then I will continue pushing our attorneys for an answer on the other part of it.
Very appreciated, and thank you all so much for your time, I genuinely
All
appreciate
right,
it.
thank you.
Alright, nothing else under me. We'll move on to Sandy.
I don't believe I have anything. I could be lying, but I'll let you know later.
Now backtracking, I'm not gonna let you backtrack. Brenda?
Well, we did receive, our first half of our Osler grant. Part phase 2 money. So we have that.
That's the 600,000.
For the
Yes,
purchase.
we received
No,
300,000.
we haven't
our
got
first
that
half.
Okay,
But that's for phase 2.
okay.
Not all.
I thought you said phase two or something.
I did.
Okay.
That's it right now.
No agreement from the state?
No, I haven't got it. And I don't have the, for our property that we bought, I sent that stuff, and I don't have anything back from that. Yeah, either, so. I'm waiting for those.
Anything further?
Do we have anything else on the insurance money on the top?
I need the, estimate on how much it's gonna cost to be rebuilt.
Do we have that?
We were supposed to be working on that, and he has not received it back from the contractor that he requested I quote from. So once I get that back, then I can send it to insurance.
Maybe we should.
So-
Fire under the contract.
Well,
It ain't gonna happen.
Yeah, all right.
You know, they have no incentive to be in a hurry, yeah.
if it's just for.
It's just like you said, with, you know, getting transformers, it takes forever.
Yeah,
Everything
no,
takes
but it's an estimate from a contractor, I mean, if you.
We're not doing custom.
Decide to build it, then you have an estimate.
And you can get it.
But I have to have it from somebody.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, I just didn't know where we were at with that. Still.
They don't
floating
get a
out
big
there.
hurry for estimates.
So
Fully want
I
the
will, I will continue to ask this account. Thank you. So besides that, we did receive the one payment, I think I told you that on my bill.
Yep.
So some few little things, and the press box. And then we'll be done.
For those out there, the question he asked was about the press box, so we are working on it.
We have not received.
I did say tower, so sorry, the press box.
I actually thought you were talking
Might
about.
be a tower.
No, I,
You get done with
it looked like an airplane came tower, so I kind of always called it tower, so. My
Matt?
verbiage.
All right, project report, nothing with Junction Way this month. Junction Road, Edson Road seal coating is complete and Rick just signed the pay request tonight, so we'll get those over to, IDOT. The sidewalk improvements in front of the fire station, I think all the punch list items hopefully were completed on Friday or no? No?
I gotta talk with Andy about the grass that they planted. I'll give him a call tomorrow. It's nothing to eat.
Nothing to eat,
Yeah,
okay.
so
So
him and
we
I have
got
been in contact about that.
Landscaping, okay.
Yeah, so.
So we got landscaping to complete.
Yes.
All right, know that, get hold of Andy tomorrow. Public Works Garage driveway, final pay request was submitted on that to the village.
But Matt, I
Yep.
don't have, from IDOT yet, so I can use that money
For which
for the driveway.
driveway?
That was
Okay,
what we're doing that. for.
okay.
So I'm waiting for that form back before I pay it.
Yeah, let me check with Dale on that.
Okay.
Culvert Road, we had the bid opening today, but we'll go through that under John. And nothing on the salt shed, 72 sidewalks, nothing. Nothing with Village Hall. No activity out on Plat 10 ditches. Got the traffic study about done, and we'll hopefully get that submitted this week to IDOT, and then I did contact DCO again. I think Thursday or Friday last week, and they said they should be sending me information on the environmental, historical, and BEP reviews that need to get done for the grant agreement. So once I get that information, I'm guessing we'll probably have IDNR, historic preservation, and we'll see if there's any other environmental sign-offs and stuff they're gonna need for the site and everything. So I told them to.
Historic cornfield.
Historic cornfield.
No agreement, though?
No agreement yet. So don't feel bad. I think the other one that got in the same, Rochelle got one out of the same program. They have not received theirs either.
Okay.
It's just, we got a community that received Rebuild Illinois public infrastructure ones that were announced before these grants, and they haven't received their grant agreement yet. It's just, it's a snail's pace. They're trying to get staffed up, and the problem is you got state grants, and then, they're managing federal grants. And unfortunately with the state grants, when the federal ones, they've got deadlines to them. So they can only go so far, and then they just literally got to drop everything and make sure that the federal stuff gets through, so. And then the park improvements, topo work's about done. That's what I forgot to do. I forgot to check with our surveyor. They had about 2 or 3 days left to survey. When I checked last week, I was just checking to see if they got that completed. Once the survey's completed, then Dale's gonna start working on some of the preliminary layouts for Nathan and
I
working
believe
on
they were
cost
out today.
estimates. So,
I think they were set up today.
oh, were they?
Yeah.
Okay. Did the actual pond work get actually done then, or?
For the,
It's still in the process.
Supposed to be finishing up.
Well, they were working today again.
Yeah,
were they? Okay.
we're close.
Okay.
Above.
I'll believe it when I see
Yeah.
it.
And that's all I had on the projects, and like I mentioned, saying that, and some people have already responded, IML next month, so. Let Sandy know if you're gonna be attending, spouse attending, and we're gonna get our numbers and everything, so. And I will try to I gotta remember to tell Ellie to make sure we've got alcohol at our. I don't know how they swear that they had it out there, and I'm like, no, you didn't. So we called back, but that next day, you know, and stuff and everything, like, that was supposed to be part of the package.
I'm surprised you're still here.
Discount.
I will say that they've been really good over the years. They don't screw up much in there, and I probably would have said something until Corey came up to me, you know, they don't, you know, cause I'm, a lot of times at that, I'm more busy talking than I am at the bar drinking, and we were over halfway through, and Corey came up to me, and goes, you know, they don't have any alcohol. I said, what? I said, you gotta be kidding. I figured everybody walk out if there's no actual liquor. All they had was beer and wine to choose
See,
from.
we were there for you.
Oh my God.
Well, and the conversation with the fellow municipalities.
That was nice. I always enjoyed that.
I will say, I appreciate that.
Seems a little weird to me.
The ability to meet with other small towns that you do work with, that we can then have dinner with and chat about is
Yep.
very nice. Get to know our fellow towns.
Occasionally.
I didn't know.
All right.
I didn't know they didn't have alcohol.
Oh.
He's calling them.
Oh, only the ones that enjoy their mixed drinks really notice.
One person who's no longer in this room noticed.
Oh, the person who sat here.
Yes.
Go figure. Any further, Matthew?
Nope, I'm
All
good.
right.
I
We
got
have
a question.
committees. Anybody have anything for Jen?
Well, one.
Oh,
Sorry. You know what? I'll save mine for last. Go ahead. You know, it's really not, it's part of, I mean, the sidewalks, but it's not part of streets and ditches. Well, I'll wait.
Thank you.
anybody have anything on Jen's stuff?
I do know that she is working on it and we think we've almost got a plan in place for Halloween. So,
Excellent.
yep, I'm kind of excited.
All right. Chris?
Beats me, I was on vacation, Brenda.
No, no.
I enjoyed myself too. I just want you all to know.
Where'd you go?
We were concerned.
Went to Niagara Falls and then Katie and Park in Maine.
Oh,
Nice.
nice.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
I wanna get to Niagara Falls.
Would you bring your board members back?
Huh?
Any souvenirs for the board?
So you want some syrup? It's really expensive to get.
On my bucket list.
If you go to a place where they produce it, it'd be cheaper, but it wasn't really expensive.
Was it worth the extra price?
I don't know, I didn't buy it.
Long way you drive to school.
I'm not gonna pay that much for a little, it's like $20 for a little bottle of. Wasn't even much for a maple
Sometimes you
syrup,
just gotta spend money, Chris.
and that was in Canada.
Good luck with that one. Anybody have anything for Bill?
What advice?
No,
Oh,
on his committee.
oh.
Move on to parks.
Google for head on.
Me, huh? Yeah, I'm sleeping over here. Just took a nap. There is something on here that I was not discussed with, so I'm just gonna.
That you want me to?
Apparently, there's some discussion of possible approval of Heddon's mobile food truck to sell food in the community park on August 26, 2023 and September 2nd, 2023. I don't have any problem. I like this idea, so.
So, our ordinance, the way that it's written, says that they cannot sell within 1,500 feet of the park without approval from this village board. Nate Hill did not have any issues with the dates. Those are dates that the junior tackle is gonna be here, since they don't have a press box. They've asked Heddens to come and sell. I will make one correction. It is now going to be August 27th because they did not have enough refs for this Saturday, so they have to move it to Sunday. But it does require a quasi board approval that they can come and sell in the park on those days. So I do need a motion.
I make a motion for approval to allow Heddon's mobile food truck to sell food in the community park on August 26th, 2020, well, August 27th, 2023, and September 2nd, 2023.
Second.
Wow, who's you taking? All three.
The new guy.
Everybody's excited today. Nathan makes a motion to approve Heddon's Mobile Food Company to sell in the community park on August 27th, 2023, September 2nd, 2023. We'll give it to Patrick seconds. All in favor, say aye.
I,
Opposed, say nay. Motion approved, 7:35.
Kind of going along with the pond project, the last communication I had with Nathan about it was supposed to be kind of completed like 2 weeks ago, so. Gives you
Story
an
of
idea
that
of where we're at with the pond project.
Who are those folks again?
Porter Brothers.
So,
Oh, is that sarcastic?
I think that was a rhetorical question, yeah. So, other than that, I think that completes me at the moment.
All right. Streets.
We had a bid opening today. Does anybody have any further questions about this project for Brett or Matt, since they're both here this evening? Not hearing anything, I'll go ahead and make a motion to award the North Junction Road Structure Replacement 2023 project to O'Brien Civil Works from Mount Morris, Illinois, in the bid amount of $243,136.38.
Second.
John makes a motion to approve the North Junction Road Structure Replacement Project to O'Brien in the amount of $243,136.38. Patrick seconds. Any discussion on the project?
A big difference in price.
Yeah, sometimes you get contractors that they just, they just throw a number, they don't.
It's time of the year.
Yeah, they just don't put a lot of effort into it and they just figure.
Like, it's a scary difference, that's why it is.
It's time of the year.
trust me.
Come back to your engineer's estimate.
No, I get it. It's going
The top ones are, we really don't want it, but if they give it to us, we're gonna get paid for it.
Yeah, the engineering estimate was spot on, so I mean, that was.
Yeah, within $30.
Yeah, I mean, that's.
Unfortunately, we do see those ranges.
I've seen it, yeah, but
And actually,
like,
I told the Starship guys that I'm happy to see you had 6 bidders and stuff. Some of the stuff that we've been bidding for water wastewater, we've had.
Yeah, it's nice to have 6 bids in there.
We've had a couple bids in the within the last year that we got one bidder for, and these are $1 million projects and.
Yeah, actually, Village Hall noticed that too. Even Erica noticed that there were a hefty amount of bids coming in. She's like, this is good.
Yeah, it's always good when you get.
Any further discussion? It's money.
Chris,
Yes.
Patrick,
Yes.
Jen is absent, Bill is absent, John,
Yes.
Nathan,
Yes.
that was painful.
Well, there's
And yours over there.
I know.
Second item, we'll have to lean on whoever knows something about this.
Well, you want to make a motion?
I guess I could do that. Go ahead and make a motion for resolution 23-47, resolution approving and authorizing updated stop sign location map.
Second.
Is it done?
Second.
We can't talk.
Second.
No second, it dies.
Yeah.
John makes a motion to approve resolution number 23-47. Nathan seconds. Chris?
I didn't think it would, isn't that what you were talking about?
This is only the Golden Prairie
This is
Auto.
what we discussed
Oh,
This is
ago
only
about
Golden
the 2
Prairie
speed
Autumn
spots.
Wolf.
Alright, I got you.
Nope, this is only the one. This is
Golden
only
Prairie.
Golden Prairie and Autumn Wolf.
Right.
It's
The one where the
only-
visual,
Yes.
we talked
Right.
about the visual around the corner.
Or somebody might get confused and think the car ahead of them is going, then rear end them. Yeah, that could be the one.
Yes, that is, that where you had to creep forward to view, yes.
Yeah, whatever. It's a long stretch, they can.
Hearing no discussion.
Sure.
Everybody's cool.
Other further?
This is the sign placement or this is the map?
Both.
The resolution,
Wait.
you gotta roll call? We can do all of it.
I was.
Okay, I was looking because it said update sign location map, so I didn't know. if it
Location
said-
map, so I'm confused that.
So the village adopts its stop sign locations
Yes.
by adopting a map
Okay,
showing that.
that's
So
fine.
the exhibit attached to the resolution that Willard Hoffman made is attached to a resolution from Dan Boland that says you guys are authorizing these stop signs on this exhibit. And then they added these 2 dots to the map.
Okay,
All right.
So where are we at with the one that
You got to finish this.
Are you
That's
jumping?
C.
I'm looking at the map?
Slow your roll.
I gotta get through this for the second motion.
I
Thank
second
you.
it.
Okay,
Yes.
Patrick,
Yes.
Jen is absent, Bill's absent, John?
Yes.
Nathan?
Yes.
Chris?
Yes.
Who knows?
Passes 740. So
Now we're on the way.
we need to slow.
Going down to the next one, this is the discussion, this is just discussion only. At Hickory Drive and Autumnwood Lane.
The last we left this at the last meeting was Jeff Smith
Yeah,
was going, Adele was taking stuff back to him and then he was gonna look at it and make
Yeah.
a recommendation. Have you heard anything? 'Cause we
yeah,
haven't heard anything.
I printed off an email and stuff and just kind of looked into it and he just can't find anything that would warrant putting a stop sign there. He said if speed's an issue, you're well within your right to put in a speed hump, and stuff, if you want to reduce the speed there, but you just not a lot there from a traffic standpoint where it would warrant a stop sign.
I have a question with that, cause Autumnwood is one of the in and outs, so it's one of the busier streets. And he doesn't recommend one there, but I would like to know the reasoning behind one at Golden Prairie and Prairie Lily. A four-way stop there. What's the reasoning for that one? Cause there's a lot less traffic there.
Golden Prairie and Prairie Lily.
Well, what I was thinking, Pat, this is my thought on it, is your four-way stops are a very well-known, I mean, it's a four-way stop. So all of them are stopping. The one thing that scares me about Autumnwood is I'm concerned how many people are actually gonna stop. One, just out of sight, out of mind, they're gonna blow through that. I worry more about somebody getting T-boned there, even though we're not talking like crazy high rate of speed or whatever. That's what kind of concerns me, but I do agree with you. They fly through there, seen it many, many times, so no disagreement.
I mean, I would like to know
But-
why the justification of that one to be a four-way stop and nothing, there. That's what I don't.
Neither one of them is really arterial. They're both, neither one of them goes out.
You can make the same argument as the road that's right before it, so if you could put a stop, we effectively not have stop signs.
We had one at Hickory, we had.
What a pain in the ass that was.
Where?
There was.
We had the second speed bump also, but the problem was it's on a curve.
Yeah.
And speed bumps on curves are not good ideas.
No,
Well, 25 mph, you shouldn't rack on a speed bump on
Yeah,
there.
so
I would hope
there
not.
was one in Hickory on one.
Well, I don't drive over my speed limit.
No,
No.
nobody does, they just speed to the speed
Well,
hump,
yeah.
they just jam on the brakes and go over. I like to- I don't mind speed, I'd rather have that than stop.
So the engineering recommendation was.
Oh, yeah.
stop.
And they don't stop.
Was no stop sign, yes.
Nobody
Hey, Sandy,
Yeah.
could you bring up a GIS or something of that area, please?
I just use the stop
Curve,
sign now.
if you wanna-
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna look at but no, I kind of wanted to see an actual
Aerial.
aerial.
Okay. Where?
Where we're talking here, right here, for the stop.
Autumnwood and Hickory. I mean, we've had no incidents.
No, I mean, that's right. I mean, people fly through there. I mean,
Brenda was just-
there is no doubt, there's no
Without
doubt.
it, Brenda was just saying, you know, there's a few houses with a stop sign, they speed by her.
Yeah,
house.
they do.
From the stop.
He's not wrong.
Stop sign.
Because some of them half time they don't stop, so.
Oh, that's nothing.
Could you zoom into that just a little
Did
bit?
they drag race on the road behind you? I'm just saying.
That's why I live on.
So what if we were to do a speed hump further to the west, more of the straight line?
Like here?
Yeah, well, even down to the east, like one more house, like right in there.
You mean one of the temporary ones to see how it goes?
We've got a few of those.
I mean, seriously,
Because that's going to force you to slow down. A stop sign is not going to force you if you blow through the stop sign and somebody's pulling out thinking you're gonna stop.
And if,
false
I
illusion.
believe,
Yeah.
I believe the statement is stop signs are not to be used to control speed.
No, they're not.
Oh, there's a curve in the road there. So-
Well, that's supposed to
That can be
reduce speed.
used to control speed, but you cannot use a stop sign to control speed.
It's only if there's a visibility issues, you can put in a stop sign.
So we have temporary speed.
I'd like an answer to why, I just don't understand why like Prairie Lily and Golden Prairie is a four-way stop. I would like to know why the recommendation's
I-
there, but on a main road,
It's a
there's
four-way.
nothing.
I don't
You-
wanna,
I'm sure that I.
Can you bring up Old Prairie?
I don't wanna spend money to find out what they're.
Sometimes the main arterials that go through there, you may not have very many stop signs on like Autumn Wood. And then the side streets stop. I mean, where I live in Sterling, there's a lot of some of the streets that you're in residential areas, and you've got the they let the traffic go more east-west on their arterial streets, you know, and stuff in the residential areas, and then the north-south streets. They don't have stop signs, they put yield signs in there, but you
That's
still,
it.
I mean, if you got the right of way, I'll be honest with you, when I'm driving, I'm still slowing down to look to make sure somebody's not
Gonna blow
blowing
right
there,
through
you
that.
know, and stuff, but.
Well, that's right.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm really not wanting to put another speed hump in because it's not fun snow plowing, but
I,
Could we get a stop sign taken out at Prairie, Golden Prairie? and-
all right,
No,
we're getting way up. I'm not gonna start taking them out.
I'm gonna ask our,
You could take them off of. Well, Prairie Little. Old Prairie. All right, take them off.
I'm not,
I wouldn't take the stop sign off of Prairie Lily going north up to Golden Prairie. That would not
After
be a
we
good
had
idea.
the issue, we went back through and made a study to make sure what we had up was,
Right.
should be where it is, so there would be no sense to taking things out that.
That one did not
There
pass
is
the
a
month.
6-page document.
So
that
we
you
know
can
what's
see
up
on
is,
the
we know what's
download.
up supposed to be up, so.
and I don't know how effective they are, I have to see if anybody's documenting it, but. I know when I've been traveling here lately, I mean, you know, there's a lot of different towns, you know, and stuff that, you know, it seems like when you come into those small towns. Where they've got the, not only the speed sign there, but they have the digital readout of how fast you're going, you know, and stuff, and so you know what your speed is relative to the
Yeah, we
the
haven't
intent.
tried that out.
And I don't know how effective that is I find myself, if I'm coming in and not paying attention and I see it pop up and it's 30 and I'm doing 38, I generally, my inclination is to slow down, you know, and stuff, whether there's a cop there or not, but.
Does the trailer still work, Fergie? Does the speed trailer still work?
We were just talking, we haven't put that out in forever. It's.
And I can't see
We
buying
don't
a new
collect
one just
data
for the-
from it anymore. People are usually trying to see if they can get the highest number.
Or the lowest.
Yeah. I remember
lowest.
that.
Lowest.
So,
I don't,
but
No, my sister-in-law.
Are you opposed to the temporary speed humps we have?
we have temporary speed humps.
Oh, God, we are not, those are not speed humps.
We don't have-
Those- The parking ones that Bob Kratz put out on Prairie Food,
those are bad.
they're in the
That will-
back of the. one
That,
story.
that will slow them down.
Oh, I've never seen them out, never used them.
Those are brutal.
Well, that's.
They got
Oh.
suspension that they got fixed because of those.
Oh, yeah, didn't know anything about it.
Yeah, we,
All right, well.
my kid and I came in here with a whole thing about how, fire trucks can't get over them.
Oh,
Because
okay.
it damages the undercarriage of a fire truck to try and get over those parking lot style speed bumps.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Rockford just put in
Didn't know.
2 speed tables upside Atlas Forest Reserve.
yeah, they did. I've
Right.
been really enjoying people bottom out their cars on those.
They don't have nearly as many grooves in it as one on Harvest Fund does.
So everyone's comfortable with the engineering recommendation for no stop sign.
Yes.
I am.
Is anybody crazy about putting in a speed bump?
I'm
It's
not-
just really a yes or no. It's not
I
a,
think the village needs to do something to address the
I'm not in favor of that.
excessive speeding that goes on out there before somebody gets hurt or killed.
I don't wanna
The only
see
one that
that.
can enforce that is, would be someone
sheriff.
law enforcement, and if they're not present, that's an issue for us to deal with
Speed
them.
bumps help slow people down, I think.
I don't know, you kind of have to have something have happened within the last, how long has it been like in the configuration?
there hasn't been nothing there in any of the.
I mean, okay, so every winter, someone goes in the ditch on Prairie Moon. Does that mean we need to put a guardrail up?
Well,
I'm
one
just- I'm
neighbor,
just curious.
the one neighbor would say, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's happened a bunch, so I'm just, like, this is just something that we visually think someone's speeding, right? No one's taking a speed gun out and zaps.
Oh,
somebody or
the way some
something.
people drive, it's pretty odd.
Well, you're asking basically for the village to be responsible for somebody to be responsible.
We don't do that.
Well, they also wanted one in Oval Crossings on their road.
Right.
And you just can't put them where everybody wants them. It's just not gonna.
I mean, we have this problem everywhere in the bill. I mean, you can sit down on Northwestern and you can watch people blow through the stop sign on Junction Northwest all day long, all day long. I mean, so Pat, I mean, that, you know, he's right. I mean, it's everywhere through here.
Yeah.
It's everywhere.
It's through Rockford, it's through Lowe's Park.
Yeah, it's
everywhere I drive every day, there's people they just blow through them like they're not even there.
But
Red lights, don't-
they actually have the police, and the problem is we
Oh.
don't have police.
Right.
You hardly ever see the sheriff's department, you know, maybe once in a blue moon, I see them actually driving through.
Has anybody looked at, it's probably going over the top here, but I mean, there's some communities and I'll be honest with you, I got caught. Is the photo and, and this is years ago, taking my daughter to northern Iowa, going on the bypass around, Cedar Rapids. They have cameras out checking speeds and,
Send you a ticket today?
yeah, they sent me a ticket.
Citation,
At that point, we don't even have
press to ever pay that, so I don't know that we want to.
That's just not as easy as you think.
Find
to throw
someone
that
to
out and start
employ
collecting revenue.
to.
I went ahead and paid it because I figured it was probably right. But
We've talked about that as well, but then, as I was saying, I believe we have to have, what do they call it, not adjudications,
When you get parking enforcement.
Adjudication.
okay, so we have to actually hire somebody to come and have the hearing, take these people to court. And do
It's
all.
better, it's cheaper.
It sounds more expensive than the tickets we would produce
Oh, I
We
think
can't
already,
just-
gate, you'd make a ton of money on the tickets,
in this
Yeah,
town.
you just lose
Yes.
money on.
but then after that, it's gonna be.
Then we're in a loss because we paid someone to adjudicate
Yeah,
Yes.
$250 to adjudicate it.
Yeah.
For $75.
for a $75 ticket, plus the payroll that they would sustain for being on our payroll, and like, I
It's
don't.
not a winning
It would be
situation.
nice if good people were just responsible to do what they're supposed to do.
I guess I'm just looking for a way to other ways to maybe slow people down if there's a way to give them tickets, it may actually, it may not be a revenue generator for you, but, people start getting some tickets on their license and that starts, going into their insurance.
Whole camera thing was.
No, you said it.
More
With-
residents only.
More residents need to call our Ogle County Sheriff. We are taxpayers of the sheriff's office. And so when people complain to us, they need to be complaining to the sheriff. That's the enforcer of
They get
the
more
public
representation.
roadways. And the more people that call there, the more representation we're gonna have in our municipality.
Did you hear me say that there, to the community pages, is that people are complaining that people, cars are not stopping for kids getting off the bus when the lights are flashing,
Yeah,
so, you know.
So
Now, there's cameras on the buses, and if you call the bus garage and have them, they should be prosecuted because.
Well, that's a
of that.
mandatory.
There's cameras on the bus.
But this person is.
That's a mandatory suspension there.
So it's, we can't.
So. So I think that's wraps it up, Rick.
All right, let's see where we're at. We have glasses on, because this looks like hieroglyphics right now. Hieroglyphs, sorry. All right, utilities.
My laptop's down, so.
Happens.
Like a, motion approval of, yeah. Motion, approval of resolution number 2348, a resolution approving and authorizing execution of quote from LAI Limited for ferric chloride feed pump for wastewater treatment plant in the amount of $2,743.
Patrick makes a motion to approve resolution number 23-48 to LAI Limited for the amount of $2,743.00. Chris seconds. Any discussion on that motion?
Just, so everybody can. You good?
Him out for.
Just so everybody kind of understands what our game plan is here. I don't know if that shows on GIS, if that's new in it, so they kind of understand the wastewater plant and show the little yellow hut.
We've got little white lines on the roads.
Man, you're all technical tonight, Fergie. Maps.
I'm trying to up my game here a little bit, John. Bring a little more to the table. So that's our ferric, feed setup. So when we originally got this approved, it was kind of, we didn't really know we had to get permitted for it. So it's a plastic, Pat's been out there, those of you who've been out there and seen it. It's starting to basically deteriorate. So what we're doing is we're redoing the entire thing. We're gonna get rid of that. We're actually going to buy a storage unit, place it there. We're gonna run power to it, lights, put a heater in it. And then a new spill containment inside for the tote. And then this is the new pump that's going to go with it. So all of that, we did budget for it. So all of that, hopefully by end of season will be new. So just in case I come back and ask for approval for a storage.
Any further discussion?
Storage building, that's what it's for.
Or sarcastic
So,
comments?
yes.
Is there room to store other totes in that there?
No.
Like just the tote that?
It's going to be big enough to basically put, we'll have some shelves in there and things like that. It's not a storage, like giant storage unit. It's enough to fit the tote and contain it through the door. Like what you put in your backyard.
Right.
That's what it is. Yep. So. Thank you.
Roll call.
Patrick,
Yes.
Jen and Bill are absent, John,
Yes.
Nathan,
Yes.
Chris.
Yes. Sorry, I swallowed that.
Whoa, hey. 7:55.
It's not a problem.
Anyone have anything on economic development?
We did talk to the attorneys, for Verizon and. so-
Or unfinished business?
Oh, It's still economic development because they were offering us these leases. So, but again, if anybody has come on there.
No, it's all right.
There isn't really anything to tell you about the Verizon, they don't really have anything, so. That's my update.
All right.
I do have another question. Sidewalk policy that we're coming up with, did we ever approve one?
Years ago.
Really?
We've actually got Ogle Crossing inventoried and we're getting ready to reach out to contractors to start getting prices on our replacement.
Yeah, that's what I was asking. Did I see one of them spray painted?
Yes, we were out there inventorying all of, so we knew basically worst to best, you know what I mean? So,
As part of the policy.
yes,
All right.
correct.
Thank you.
Yes.
That's it, sorry.
Are you taking unfinished business down then too?
Done.
I mean, you talked about Verizon, I talked about.
Yes.
Okay, so, LR did reach out to me and asked if they get the fiber, if that's the last thing they need for the lease. I then responded and said, we still have not seen a lease or anything else. I blind copied you on my response. I said, the board has not seen any documentation nor agreed to anything, so I cannot respond to that. So I don't know if that means that they're finally getting a lease draft update in the works.
Does most of the board know kind of what happened in the last 3 to 4 weeks
No.
up there?
Has it got shut? Did you guys take a big hit this last time? Cause that
Well,
one rocked me
yeah.
when I was in my house, like
We-
my hair stood up pretty good.
So about, what was it, 3?
August 4th, the water treatment plant took a lightning strike hit. And the fob system went out, which I believe is still not fixed.
No, it was fixed as of the other day. It's not working again
All
today.
right, so, well, hold on, we'll get to that. So the fob system went out, the alarm system went out, LR's system went down. What else went down for D?
We lost all of our line of sight. We lost our tower elevation. We lost our pressure transmitter.
Transistor went down again.
With the pressure transmitter at the base of the tower. Yeah, it's just a little.
Yeah.
pressure,
Is
yeah.
this the
That's
second to get hit?
No, hold on, so August 4th was the first.
Okay, I'm just starting my
And
dates.
so then we started getting everything back.
Yeah,
in
we're not-
order.
yeah, we're not done yet.
Sorry, there's been a lot
Yeah,
recently.
and then, so we got everything almost fixed, except for one item, but I'll circle back to the internet in a minute.
Yeah.
And so we got almost everything fixed, and then last Wednesday while we were gone. Last Wednesday?
No, it was Monday.
It was Monday. I was home for this
It
one.
was Monday night.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was home for that one.
It took another hit. What
Big
was-
one.
Well, we lost everything that we lost
Yeah, the
before.
first time. yeah.
So we just literally reordered the same parts we just put in 3 days.
Oh,
before.
it was a flash over out there, wasn't it? Yeah, oh, I was inside and like the whole family like looked at each other like, was that in our backyard? But it wasn't, so.
Yeah, no, both of them were.
It's our front.
So the way that the well tower currently receives internet is through what we call a line of sight. And so we run a fiber over to Public Works Building, then Public Works Building runs a line of sight over to across the tracks to the water tower, and that's how it currently receives internet. When that went down on the 4th, we spent all day trying to figure it out because that system is over 10 years old. So we tried to figure other alternatives, somebody to come and fix it. We couldn't find anybody. We finally found the person who originally installed it was willing to come out here and fix it. The following week, they fixed it, but not to what we had asked them to do. So I have a phone call with Dan scheduled to kind of talk about what our obligation is to pay a bill for work they didn't do. But when we took the hit again that following Monday, I believe Public Works was able to go out, buy the same pieces that this other guy bought and fix it and get it to work again.
Yes, Kyle Climb Towers.
Yeah, and so we're going to, obviously, that is a short-term solution. This is a cheap thing to just get us going. Fergie and I went over and met with Pete for PDC Automation doing the SCADA system over there. And we're just gonna run like a Frontier internet over there, and we've got a way that we can get the two wells to communicate. So that's what we're gonna switch over to and drop the line of sight.
Probably what that was the biggest
So,
thing we lost was the
That's
communication.
that's
It would be a permanent solution because right now, like when we had no line of sight, that means that we have no communication to well 2. So for an entire week, the village was running off of one well because there was no way to get well 1 to talk to well 2.
Because I can't remote in, I can't see the plant, and I can't automatically get well 2 to run, so.
we don't really need their fiber.
We do not necessarily need their fiber. If it's gonna come down to what I can do quickest and fastest, because what we have done right now is literally a $350 fix. And yeah, it's a patch and it's not going to hold us over forever. So it is a high priority to get internet out there and to get what we need done.
Fiber optic cable wouldn't be
No.
better.
While it might be, I don't have time to wait 3 years.
No, I understand that, and it wouldn't be, it would be like more like months.
But the internet
Totally
that she's
understand
talking
that.
about getting will be a fix for it. And then
No, I get
if
it.
the fiber does come, we have the option to choose it or not.
What you're working on is a permanent fix, and we don't have to deal with the fiber, we don't have to deal with.
We don't have to if we don't want to. It is no longer something that we put over our heads because this would be an alternative.
Tell
that we are
Lions has
happy
been
with the
very
services.
congenial, they've not been easy to work with, so why would we give them any break if they give us fiber? If you've already solved the solution and the
Right.
rest as well as what we had.
And that's kind of what it came
Still working
to.
with it.
And I think what Fergie was
That's
getting to
simple.
is the day that we got that first,
Fiber would be more money.
the day that we got the first lightning strike, LR was out there fixing their stuff. And I asked them to please help us out and figure out what we needed to do to get that done. And at about 3 o'clock that day, LR finally said, well, I'm sure we could come up with something for you at some point, but it's just not gonna be something that we can do at this moment. And that's just not what I needed at that
Well, then
point.
let's move away from that relationship.
And-
It's,
And so I,
Relationship, that's fine.
well, I mean,
Yeah.
whatever you want to call it, it's not healthy.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not healthy.
it was not.
It
and
reminds
so
you of
it-
Verizon.
Yeah, I was
Just
gonna
saying.
say.
The-
It was just very disappointing. And then while I was telling him, like, while I was sitting there going, what can we do? What can we do? He's like, well. Corey from LR goes, well, we wouldn't have this issue if you had just signed the lease with the fiber. And I said, I'm sorry, we don't have a lease with fiber. And he's like, I said, Aaron hasn't given us anything. We've reached no agreement. I gave everything Aaron asked for 9 months ago and received nothing back yet. And he
Yeah.
goes, oh.
It's been on our unfinished business for what, over a year
Yeah.
now.
And the ball has been in their court the
Yep.
entire time. And so, apparently they did not know that the ball, well, one hand did not know the other hand had the ball. And so
And why would we want to be partners with someone like that in the first place?
and so that it was disheartening to know that at a time where we needed services that they were able to offer at a time of need, that was just the reaction.
Going with the, it sounded like you said the Frontier potential. option.
Yeah, it's somebody like.
Or someone, just
Yeah.
some, but I'm assuming that it's gonna be some type of, like Frontier is a cable line that comes, or a phone line that comes into
Yeah.
your home, right? So, in the event that we have an interruption in that, do we have a plan B in place?
It'd be the same as if we had a fiber and there was an interruption in fiber, or it'd be the same for that.
Right,
but-
that's,
Yeah.
my
but
question
they
is
don't-
better, maybe better to, do we have a plan B in place for anything?
You won't have a
Yeah.
plan.
There is
What's your
no-
plan B
There's no
gonna be?
plan B if we run out or some
You could
hiccup.
keep your line of sight, and that would be a
Yeah.
plan B, but I don't think
Not for
that'd
the
be
cost of
reliable,
the-
especially if
not
you
for
didn't use it on a regular basis.
Right.
But it would be a plan B.
The thing is, if something like Frontier goes down, they are on it immediately because it's not just. us.
Absolutely, they are,
With
yeah.
our line of sight, if it goes down, it's just us looking for somebody.
No,
to
no,
fix it.
we
So,
definitely need a better thing.
yeah,
I just
it's
wanted
a
to make
much
sure that.
quicker repair, I think.
If it's possible to come up with a plan B or have a plan of line of sight, something as a backup.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, like if we have the equipment already and we kept it or something, like.
So if you have it, you have you'd have to have some kind of. Because you
I don't know exactly how it
You don't
works,
know
that's
when
why-
you would need it, you'd have to keep some kind of instructions there on how to turn it on.
Oh, yeah, I mean,
That's
Yeah.
plan B,
It's,
otherwise.
Okay.
the
It
plan
is-
is one.
we survived a week with only on one well. Is it ideal? No. Is that how we want to run? No. Can it be done? Yes. Do I think that we will ever be without internet through a provider for a week? No.
no, usually it's only days or
Yeah.
hours, but.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
the reason I suggest Frontier is that's who we used to have services from up there for our phone. And so I think they've already got lines there, so that's where I'm gonna start.
Okay,
That high speed.
I have Frontier on the side speed.
They said that what they offer.
What we
is good
need
enough for
it
me.
Yeah.
Oh, God, I would think so, yeah.
Yeah, no, he said that even the lowest.
Yeah.
plan Of what they
Yeah,
offer.
it doesn't
is
take much up
sufficient.
there.
Nope.
So-
Not dropping it.
So
Yep.
that was, I think that's what you were trying to get to, was our conversation with LR and kind of what was going on up there, Fergie.
Yes.
Okay.
I didn't know if everybody's aware that, yeah, we've taken multiple hits and we just,
Thanks
that's
for that segue.
I did not know there was a second.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
how I do it.
Awesome.
yeah, we don't like to do things just once.
All right, let's move on. Do you have any public?
No, would you like to share that? Did you read your email? Okay,
So-
so if you
go
were
ahead.
making an,
You were.
so everybody, oh, I might cry then. So everybody is aware, Glenda passed away on the 14th, so.
No, I
Oh, no, I was gonna
John.
cry.
Do you read your emails?
Email,
I read
yeah.
the board pack.
Not for my, we.
So, it happened pretty suddenly over the course of
Yeah,
less
got an
than
email.
2 weeks.
Two.
Yeah, it happened suddenly over the course of less than 2 weeks. Her services are on Monday and the Beveridge Lions Funeral Home in Rochelle. I do have her obituary if anybody needs the information. But just so the public is aware and so that
Oh,
the
man.
board is aware.
What happened? Who you got the dog?
We can discuss her private matters off of. not
Beautiful
this meeting.
dog.
All
But
right,
anyway, just so everybody's aware, Glenda did pass away.
she will be missed.
Very
Those
much
would be
so.
well.
Yes.
First there.
She's been involved since.
Oh, yeah.
That's hard to hear. Anything further from the board members, the non-existent public? Meeting officers?
Motion to adjourn, Rick.
Second. John makes a motion to adjourn, Nathan beat the second.
Just make it, Ernie.
All in favor, say aye. Opposed, say nay.
You know, was that?
8:07.
Oh, we only-